Chucky is back. It's the coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. Tonight, we wrap a busy first week of the season with a second of 2 on a Monday night between the Los Angeles Rams and the Oakland Raiders. No more training camp, no more exhibitions. The 2018 NFL season on EA Sports is underway. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a man who's becoming an elder statesman among quarterbacks in the league, drafted back in 2004. It's Ben Roethlisberger.
And when you just sit and look at the raw numbers, you actually kick back and nod in appreciation about the career Ben Roethlisberger has had. Went over 50,000 passing yards last year, 8th all-time. But what he wants more than anything, one more run at the Super Bowl where he's won twice previously.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On first down, Murray. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
They did tell us they wanted to establish the ground game early, didn't they?
They did, in a small sample size that we've seen so far, but pretty good return.
Yeah, you got to like that. They've strung together a couple of first downs, established what they wanted, the running game. And guess what? They also got their lead guy running it pretty well, too.
That is incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now a give. This is Murray. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. Tackle made there by Frank Clark.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. And this is caught by Watkins. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. It makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
On second down, here's Roethlisberger. This is complete to Watkins on the slant. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. His completion there keeps the sticks moving.
From the red zone now, here's Roethlisberger on first down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. He was trying to hit Thomas that time, and it's third down.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
Now it's Roethlisberger. He sets up the screen to Jones. He had a quick little spin move, but the door shut fast as he's dropped. Now the screen only good for 3 that time, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle. Right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like
Come
that
on.
one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that part. I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Tackle made there by Tony Jefferson. Now Cohen. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now Taylor. He can run for it, and he will. And avoids the contact by sliding. Taylor able to use those legs of his to pick up a first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protect. Himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big time play.
On 1st and 10, it's Taylor. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Call it a 3-yard gain, and it'll make it 2nd down. Now they'll throw with Taylor. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. From midfield now, here's Taylor. And this one is incomplete.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice in it. Ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
They'll run the counter with Murray. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
All right, here we go.
A handoff. It's Murray. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here's Roethlisberger. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. DJ Reader in there to get him for a loss of 3, and it'll be fourth down.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
Now a play fake here on first down. Tough to bring Bryant down. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Raiders have recovered.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Murray. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football. Football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On second down, Roethlisberger out to the left there and complete to Howard. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
Well, they were unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
We all love to have a home run hitter in the backfield. Guy can take it the distance, but in short yardage, trying to pick up first downs, that big guy, always a nice luxury to have, isn't he?
They go back to Murray on first down. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Shaq Lawson's one of those guys that after a while you quit just trying to define him by a position. Defensive end, outside linebacker, doesn't matter. He knows how to get upfield and spill some plays.
So disruptive. What makes him so disruptive?
I think it's strength. If you see his upper body, I mean, he's got some strength up there and some really good hands, but he's got some surprising quickness as well to get him upfield. Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now third and very short in order to try and pick up a first down. Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
And his throw's going to be incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And that'll make it third down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. And under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Tony Jefferson with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Yeah, we remind that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. Taylor. And that is going to be incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. Well, they were looking for a clutch play there on 4th, unable to come up with it.
How about that defense, though, huh? How about that D?
Yeah, momentum swing.
And, I remember playing how much 4th downs were emphasized, because, as you said, it's a momentum play. It's also a big test for you, If people are going to go for it on 4th down, they believe you're not up to the challenge. You want to show them differently. Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that Completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Here's Roethlisberger to throw. And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Shaq Lawson. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. And fights through one man. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Rams will get it at the 20. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Here's Taylor. The screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now Taylor on first down. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first. First and 10. Throwing now, Taylor on first down. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. So after the incompletion, second and 10 from the 22. Second and 10 now. It's Taylor. Flushed out right. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Ryan Kerrigan able to drop him for a loss of 4. So all right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1... Fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Rams offense, they work their way back on the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
This is Cohen. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. And quickly, they get to the line. Now they'll run it with Cohen. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe they'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
It's caught over the middle, Hooper. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. They just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Taylor. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. From the gun on 3rd down, it's Taylor. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with him.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. They're going on 4th down. It's Taylor. And my goodness, this is incomplete. No luck for the Rams as they fail here on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. They begin the drive with a run by Murray.
Holding offense.
That hold coming from the middle of the line to center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, it can be a little bit late getting it done.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as he moves. The offense backwards. Following the penalty, it's Murray. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
A run, it's Murray. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A big pickup, 18 yards, but they still stop him well short of the marker.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball in the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on fourth, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Well, we'll see what his offense can do. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
So much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 23 yards on the play. Taylor now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Taylor. Pass incomplete. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Taylor. Finding Gabriel complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 19 down to the 19, and it's a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 at the 19. They'll run it now out of the gun. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up 1st and goal. They'll run for it with Tariq Cohen, and he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. He'll get it up the middle. Bulldozes, and he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Tim Hightower, a 5-yard touchdown run. And the Rams can grab the lead if they hit the extra point.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. On here, Brandon McManus for the point after. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they take the lead here at 7-6. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out, and a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Some pretty good games all weekend. We may have saved the best for last. This Monday night game has been a dandy. They'll throw on first down with Roethlisberger. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
2nd and 10. It's Roethlisberger once more. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Taylor will throw. Letting one go deep for the end zone. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Taylor. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And down inside the 15 he goes. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. On first down, it's Taylor. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. They give him 2 yards there as they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They're able to get a couple here, but won't get across the plane as they stop him right around the 1.
That run didn't get very far, and I think when you're looking at his dimensions, he's a little bit on the smaller side. He's counting on the big guys up front to escort.
And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Taylor Gabriel, a 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Rams use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. McManus's point after is good. And all about timing there on that short slant, Charles.
Exactly right. That was timed up so well. The route, the throw, touchdown.
So that drives 7 plays in length. And the result for the Rams, a touchdown. To return, here's Chris Conley. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. So out come the Raiders. And following the interception, just any interception. a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. John Gruden's return to the sideline, not going as planned thus far, but his Raiders do have it 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. A dump underneath to Jones. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a gain of 5, and it'll be a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They've got another 1st down. Now the Raider passing game clicking on all cylinders right now. Throwing now, Roethlisberger on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there. As he gets his first NFL sack. On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. Oh, the pressure pressure too great, and he goes down once more. DJ Reader in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides.
And he's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47. So the failure to convert, no doubt, really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with the 2-minute warning. And that's going to help in big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity.
So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They try again with Cohen. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
Caught on the right side by Jones. Fighting through, and he's got space. And he's finally taken down, but not before he reaches the 14. A big play that time for the Raiders. 42 yards. He's back to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Couple extra defensive backs out there in the dime, and because of that, really not many places to throw the football, if any.
And typically, what would you want to do against that dime?
Run the football.
You want to run the ball, but you can't do it in this situation. Not nearly enough time on the clock. You have to really navigate against a tough defense presented against you.
And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. They'll look to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Illegal touching. Offense.
So that one will be accepted. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And no, it's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. So now let's reset here, Charles. They do have 2 timeouts left, so they can stop the clock twice. This one's not quite over yet.
No, and what you're doing on defense, you're going to use both timeouts, obviously. But you've got to call defenses are going to force the issue early, meaning you want that play over fast. You don't want to give them time to dance around in the backfield or run a wide sweep that'll take off time. Blitz them, put pressure on them, make sure that play ends quickly so that you can go ahead and keep moving.
This is Hightower. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Very nice, eh? Very nice, eh?
Right back to him on 1st down. And spins away. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. And we've got a timeout. 9 seconds remaining. They run. This is Cohen. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. On the carry, it's Hightower. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for Los Angeles, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll look to get back on
This is Madden 19. I'm the coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Up next, we've got a good one on tap between the visiting Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. With that, we're off to L.A. for the Rams' home opener in their third season back home. Standing by, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game. And that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Arizona Cardinals and the Los Angeles Rams. Now Jones. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. As we get a peek at the number 2 overall pick from the 2016 draft, standing at 6'5", Carson Wentz.
And what a blow it had to have been for Carson Wentz to realize his season was over after the injury in Los Angeles with his team just rolling at that point. Dreams of a Super Bowl in everyone's head. But as soon as the doctors cleared it, he made every quarterback meeting, every team meeting, spent extra time with Nick Foles, stayed involved with the team on the sidelines during games. He was probably their biggest supporter during their run to the Super Bowl. Never dropped his head, stayed involved.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 14 carries, 63 yards. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron.
I was so glad you asked for a couple of offensive linemen to talk to before the game because they told us that in last week's contest, Everything was clicking. Didn't matter whether they were doing gap scheme, zone scheme, power, whatever it was working, and they expect more of the same in this game, although they're prepared for some adjustments by the defense they expect to see.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of...
He rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Stop made there by Julius Peppers. On second down, here's Taylor. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shot. Of the 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. The rushing numbers last week for Cohen. 25 carries, 123 yards.
Leading the league in rushing after week 1. You know he'd love to double down and continue that type of play here in week 2.
And they'll go on the ground. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead them to third down. And they'll run it here. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. It's complete. Swings it out to his running back. But he will not get away. He stops short of the marker. So out now come the Cardinals. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep, and on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards. On first down, that's what they talk about to us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run. Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're saying.
Interestingly, that throw was trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked up by the linebacker, Bobby Wagner. And he will take this down to the 10-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards, and that'll bring up a 2nd and goal. And he probably should have given that one off, as he's going to get hit and taken down behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd and goal, Taylor. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Max Williams, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you want to treat them. Are they a wide receiver? Are they a big extra blocker on the field? Or are they a hybrid and caught in between? So are you going to use a linebacker? Are you going to use a safety? Are you going to even move a corner in if you're going to play nickel or dime defense? They usually win those matchups because they have an answer for all 3 of those positions.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here's Carson Wentz now with the rest of his offensive unit heading onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
That play going for 16 yards to start the drive, 1st down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And the Rams have got it back.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
They begin on the ground with Kamara. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his 2nd season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did. And got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating in Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And here's another interception, the third of this first quarter. Back live now to begin the second quarter with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's the Rams with a football to get us going. They take over 1st and 10 following the interception. After the interception, here's Taylor. Got a man. It's Brown. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. The completion good for 3, and it's second down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Off the toss, Cohen. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
That's a lot of beef thundering downfield off of the toss play, and it takes me back to when I was a kid and watching USC play. Remember the old toss that they ran? They used to call student body right or student body left because everyone was out in front of the ball carrier.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll take this one down to about the 40. It's a gain of about 3, but it's going to leave him with 3rd and still 7 yards to go.
Slow.
To throw is Taylor. Got a man. It's caught inside the 10. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Martavis Bryant, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Rams add on to their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers. That meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. To return, it's Cam Sutton. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Rams defense now as they get ready for the next possession. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion now that the defensive team is generating for the entire team? Creating the turnovers, what they call takeaways, and turning those into points for their team. That's why they have the lead, and that's got to be exciting for those guys on the defensive side of the ball.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And he powers his way up past the 30. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
On second down, here's Wentz. And Jones has it over the middle. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. Taking it about the 16. Give him 11 yards yards that time on the return. And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. And he powers his way up past the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest game, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Mike Mitchell coming up from the secondary to make the stop.
Slow.
Now they'll throw with Taylor. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. They go play action now. Taylor. He's going to dump that off to his running back, Cohen. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 4th down. 4th down, here's Taylor. And it's complete. Hooper. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A solid pickup of 5 and a very solid 4th down conversion. And defensively, pure frustration. Ito Smith, his first carry. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Now Taylor to throw on 2nd down. It's complete to Brown, right side. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives him a 1st down. Taylor will lead up the offense 1st and 10, and he's hit on his first 9 passes now in the ball game. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Maybe just a slight detour on what's been a strong drive. Here's 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, Taylor. He'll leave it for Cohen, complete. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Now it's Taylor. And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Yannick Ngakoue with a big-time sack on third down, and it'll be a loss of 7. And McManus able to put it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board.
Now a hit and a loose football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear tuck it.
Taylor hit. He lost the football. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Final play of the half. It's Taylor. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So we come upon halftime here in Southern California with the Rams on top. J.J. Nelson now to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the Rams now coming out on the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He'll wind up getting 11 on that one, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Now Taylor looking to throw on 2nd down. Flush to his right. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Mike Mitchell coming up from the secondary to make the stop. Play action. Now Taylor. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Now it's Taylor. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later.
Now a hit and a loose football. And they will take over at the 26-yard line. And that one is his second fumble loss. Not a good look out of your return man.
And not only does he hurt the momentum for his team or even change momentum of the game, but now they've got a decision to make on his own sideline. Does he continue to do that? Do you keep him in that role, or do you bring someone else in at this time?
It was Eric Reed in on the stop. Again, it's Cohen. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
Another good run there, and now we're seeing an offense that's imposed its will on a defense. When we talk about that all the time, what does it really mean? It means that the guys on the offensive line, they feel like they can do whatever they want. They're in the huddle saying, run it again. Give us another chance to smack someone and create some space. On the defensive side of the ball, not only have they imposed their will against you, you're almost powerless to figure out what you're doing there, but you got to keep your spirit up at the same time. And they're taking that too.
Here's Taylor to throw on second down. And he will score. Touchdown, LA. Tyrod Taylor, his 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Rams add on to their lead. And this one through the uprights and good.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. Sutton now to return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working and call more of that. He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Tough for first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here we go.
Now Wentz on 3rd down. Drops this off to Kamara out of the backfield. Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the blitz on 3rd down, and your worry as a defense that they can hit you with a big play in that situation. Instead, the blitz pays off, able to rally to the football and make the play.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, Give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They go play action with Taylor. And that is incomplete here.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Taylor, the screen pass here to Cohen. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
Here's Jones. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5, and the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. On 2nd down, Kamara. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him. Down at about the 40. The Cardinals on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time it's 3rd and 3.
Here we go.
Back now in Los Angeles. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Wentz going to try and throw on 3rd. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Their already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. Now Wentz, gotta have this one. Going for the deep ball. And this is going to be incomplete. The Cardinals unable to convert there on 4th down. And the Rams get the football in outstanding field position. So they'll trudge off the field with a bitter taste in their mouths after that failed 4th down conversion.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of analysis there on the sidelines. Was it the right call? Was it against the right defense? Should they have even gone for it at all? Will that change what they do going forward in this game? A lot of questions to be answered by them. The defense doesn't really care. They're like, bring it on again. We'll stop you the next time, too.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. Stop made there by Julius Peppers. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense. Still 2nd down.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Now a handoff looking right. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Wesley Woodyard there on the tackle. Play action, it's Taylor. He's going deep for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And this offense last time turned it over, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. They're lucky, though, because no points against the team on the board, but we'll see how they respond.
Yeah, they've got to get a lot of credit to their defensive teammates, don't they? They had their backs on that last series, and because they did so, that allows the coach to still stay aggressive on offense and maybe go for it again in a similar situation.
I was going to say, maybe makes that offense feel good, but when you know you've got a defense making stands like that.
Yeah, that'll loosen up things a little bit, won't it? Maybe he'll play a little bit better the next time you have the ball.
Throw right side, taken in by Godwin. A good pickup there, a 22. Wentz now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Working from the gun, Wentz. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Once again here on 2nd and 10. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
This defense was definitely alert to the foul. Possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead. Fourth quarter, maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Wins to throw again. It's caught. Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And the play goes for 19 yards. Gives him a new set of downs.
Go.
Wentz now on first down. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw is Wentz. On the check down, he finds Kamara. And he'll go down at the 28. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Carson Wentz, that's his first touchdown pass since December 10th of last year. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the hands team for the Rams able to secure the football. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. On 2nd down, here's Taylor. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down. The Rams on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Taylor. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th. They'll try and throw for it with Taylor. This will be caught at about the 5. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. Able to convert on 4th to bring up 1st and goal. That's a big 3 yards right there. Stepping up, he'll try and run. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is second down. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd and goal now as they look to add a few more points here onto their total. He's going to get it running right. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get nothing out of that one. And I guess not content to get another 3 here late. They'll try to add 6 more as they go on 4th and goal. They'll sneak it with Taylor. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Looking like they're well on their way. To a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it...
And now it's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a live football. But he will not be able to bring this one back, and the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
Well, times have definitely changed on the PAT, on the extra point, haven't they? A lot more effort goes into this play from both sides.
Yeah, because let's face it, a lot of time on extra points, the effort is not what it is when you're trying to block a field goal.
No doubt about it. And before, when the ball was snapped on the 2-yard line, it was really a virtual chip shot. Now everyone believes they can get to it and knock it away, and we know how crucial every point is. So the defensive guys, they spend a lot more time trying to get that done, which means there's more pressure on the offensive guys trying to kick it.
On 1st down, Wentz. And the Rams got it. They bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. Got his man, Robbie Anderson. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Cardinals on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Here we go. Waiting.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the 1st.
Still 1st down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Shotgun now for Wentz. And an alley to run. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It's a pickup of 15 and a fresh set of downs.
Here we go. Back. 120.
Throwing on 1st is Wentz. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. A big play there. His 1st touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cardinals cut into that lead.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. Tyrod Taylor now gears up to lead his offense again. He has really been buoyed here by a strong running attack. They've been great on the ground.
And have enjoyed the entire process because oftentimes when you're running the football well, that's much more of a team effort. Everyone has to come together to make it work. Offensive line, wide receivers, the tight ends when they're on the field, maybe an extra running back leading. It is a really nice thing to see, a team type of thing. And guess what? The quarterback, he can get out of the locker room a whole lot faster after this game. The interviews are going to go to the running back.
Yeah, now we hit the home stretch here in the 4th with their lead. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now a former Cardinal running back. This is Tim Hightower. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for L.A., it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And next week, they get to stay home again as the Los Angeles Chargers come to town. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they'll drop to 0-2, and they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against the Chicago Bears. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The battle for Los Angeles. It's the coach. This is week 3 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, they'll share a stadium in a few years' time. But for now, it's the first battle between two LA teams since November of 1994 as the Rams play host to the Chargers. I'll see you again at halftime. But first, let's head out to Southern California. Standing by, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Los Angeles Chargers and their Southern California rivals, the Los Angeles Rams. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Chargers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. The tackle is made by Adoree Jackson. They run a draw here on second down. He takes this from the 30 to the 34.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On third down, Taylor buying time to his left. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy.
And it's a fumble. But it looked like a Rams player was able to get his hands on it, yes. So they will hold on to the football indeed.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it.